Hi everybody, it's Donna from donnasdreamworks.blogspot.com, and today I'm putting together a birthday card for a little girl that I've never met, but I've seen almost on a daily basis. She's a Facebook friend, or her mother is. She's actually my sister's great-granddaughter, but she's going to be 1 year old in June, this month, shortly actually, and she's going to have a birthday party that is a Minnie Mouse birthday party theme. I don't have a Minnie Mouse stamp, so I've used Mickey. I will be sending her something else, perhaps a wall hanging that is Minnie, because I do have the Mickey font cartridge. But I thought I'd put together a cute little birthday card that is still Disney themed. What I have here is a 5-inch square card that is 5 inches by 10 inches and scored in half. Then I used the corner chomper, and I used the 1/2 inch setting and rounded the corners, all 4 of them. The next layer is a layer of white scallop that I have just used a little bit of Tim Holtz ink around the edges so it stands out a little bit from this red card. And this is cut at 5 inches also, and this is from Lacy Labels. So I'm going to attach that now. I hope I stay in frame. It's kind of hard to center things when you're not right over them. Okay, then the next layer is a red circle, and this was taken from Planton's school book and was cut. Actually, I don't really know the dimensions. I used my gypsy, and all I did basically is to put one on top of the other and then enlarge it to fit. So I would say that's probably about 4. Let me just see how much of an edge is around it here. Yeah, I would say that's probably close to 4 inches because it's about a 1/2 inch all the way around of white. And here comes the next layer. The next layer is a polka dot layer. And so this one is again about 1/4 inch all the way around, so that would be a 1/2 inch smaller, so that would be about 3.5. Okay. Now the next layer is a plain red layer, and on the top of the red layer I have put my Mickey stamp on a white layer. I know the white is 2 inches, so this is probably 2.5. And I've already colored Mickey and put a little bit of sparkly embossing powder on his gloves. And we're going to just pop him up on some foam squares. Now let me just make sure I have my card opening correctly. I want it to open to the side. Here we go. From Stretch Your Imagination, I cut out 4 balloons. In what I did is I picked up the colors that are in this polka dotted paper, and what I've done is put a large foam square on it so that it will fit on the card and stand up. And I'm just going to try to overlap them over Mickey's hand here. And by the way I'm going to do that is to just put the balloons on with the foam tape on this side and just leave the streamers alone for a minute. Okay, now what I will do down here is simply bring these together with a little bit of a glue dot that I forgot to get out, so just a second. And I'm just going to put this right by Micky's glove there and roll it up just a little bit because I don't really need the whole glue dot. And you'll see I can still use this glue dot after I get the balloons attached. So now I will stick the balloons down, and I will take my fancy scissors here and just cut off the tails that are sticking down below his hand. Okay, then what I have that will go on here is a yellow ribbon that will look as if it has tied these balloons together. I don't like that. That's a little twisted. Let's try that again. I've had the devil's own time tying ribbons lately. It seems like my fingers all of a sudden got too big. That looks a little better. And I'm going to stick it right on that glue dot that's still right there. And that didn't cut too well. I need to just pick it up. There we go. And there we go. And I'm going to trim just a little bit of this off. Now, on previous videos I've told you how I sometimes stamp my sentiment and then trim around it, and I just thought I'd do that for you today to show you. I have a happy birthday sentiment here. I stamped it on white cardstock, and I have just mounted it on some red cardstock. And now I'm going to use these hairdressing scissors, believe it or not, to trim. And the reason I like these actually for this kind of thing is because the blade is long and straight, so that the cut tends to be straighter if you can cut straight. And let's see now, where shall I put that? I think maybe just a little bit off to the side. Okay, and I've got some little foam squares, some little foam squares that we can stand that up with. There you go. I think that's kind of cute. And we'll put a sentiment inside. Probably what I'm going to do on the inside is to put another layer of the polka dot paper to bring that along to the inside of the card, and then put a white layer with the sentiment on it. I also might do a little extra stitching, maybe with some red marker, excuse me, around the edge of that white, just to kind of even that off a little bit. Now, one of the things I find is these are an odd size card, and I don't have 5-inch square envelopes. And so, but I do have an abundance, and I mean an abundance, of these big envelopes that were originally, I had them when I used to do a lot of computer generated cards, and they were the half-fold cards, and that's what fits in here. But I very rarely make a card this big anymore. So I found an easy way to use the envelopes. And as you can see, I've already done one. And I will show you how it's done. It's very simple. I measure the card to the side of the envelope. Okay. and make a little mark, probably about a 1/2 inch out. Okay, now I would just take my paper trimmer and cut that off. And you see this side is open. So what I'm going to do is to just split this a tiny bit on the bottom so that I can fold this edge in. Okay. And then I will take a tape runner and go right along that edge. Fold this over, and then I'm just going to trim off the excess over here. And voila, you have a 5-inch envelope. Now, as you can see, the top of this is square and the top of this side is a little angled. So just take your scissors and come in and angle it off a little bit. And you actually could use your corner chomper again to round it, and I think probably the 1/4 inch side would be sufficient. Let's see if I can get that in there. No, let me try the 1/2 inch side. There you go. And this is just a little piece of extra that was left on the inside. Cut it off, and voila, we have an envelope with a 5-inch card. And we haven't wasted any paper. The little piece here I'm going to trim off. There we go. There you go. And of course you can decorate this however you want, but it's fairly simple, and it utilizes some of the envelopes that you already have that are just too big to use right now. Nobody'd ever know that that was a cut down envelope. Works out very well. So there you go. There's a birthday card and the envelope for the little girl Savannah, who's going to be 1 year old. Happy birthday, Savannah.